right, so if you're thinking about getting that new iPhone 16 Pro Max, you're probably wondering, is it really as tough as Apple's saying?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, because they're claiming it's got like the toughest glass on any smartphone.
Right.
With ceramic shield.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be like 2 times tougher than like before.
Uh-huh. The question is, can we ditch the case?
Finally ditch the case.
Or is that still a recipe for disaster?
Yeah, so we did a deep dive into a bunch of articles.
Yeah.
And even a Reddit thread to try to figure this out.
We did.
We got like Tech Radar,
Mm-hmm.
Mac Rumors,
Yep.
Cult of Mac,
Uh-huh.
Digital Trends,
Yeah.
Tech Blog.
A lot of information out there.
Yeah, to see like if the iPhone 16 Pro Max actually like lives up to the hype.
Definitely.
So Apple's making some big claims about this like second generation ceramic shield.
They are.
I mean, it's a special type of glass that they made with Corning
Yeah.
that's supposed to be like way more resistant to scratches and cracks.
You'd think so?
But then we looked at Allstate's annual drop test.
Oh, yeah.
And things kind of went south.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, Allstate's the insurance company.
Right.
They've been doing these drop tests for years. And this year, they dropped the iPhone 16 Pro Max face down from 6 feet onto concrete.
Oh, wow.
And guess what?
What happened?
The screen died.
Oh, no.
Like it was flickering and then darkness.
That's not good.
Not good.
Not a good sign.
They also did a back down drop from the same height.
Okay.
The phone still worked.
Okay.
But the glass around the camera cracked.
Oh,
So not
okay.
exactly what you want to see.
No, not on a brand new phone, especially.
Hold on, they said the screen completely died.
Yeah.
I thought this new glass was supposed to be super tough,
Right. You would think.
like indestructible.
And the interesting thing is they used to do dunk tests.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they stopped doing them because iPhones have gotten so good with like water resistance.
Oh.
Like the IP67 rating means it can handle being like submerged in about a meter of water
Okay.
for up to 30 minutes,
Got it.
which is the same as the last few iPhones.
Makes sense.
So like,
Skills reign.
yeah, those shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
But back to the drops.
Yeah.
It seems like even ceramic shield has its limits.
So maybe 6 feet is a bit extreme.
Yeah.
But what about like,
Yeah, everyday drops.
yeah, like from your pocket or off the couch?
Right, exactly.
Those little ones.
Well, even there, the results are kind of mixed.
Really?
Yeah, Everything Apple Pro did a drop test where they compared the iPhone 16 Pro Max to last year's iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Okay.
And get this, from shoulder height, the 16 Pro Max's screen shattered, while the 15 Pro Max was totally fine.
So the older phone survived a drop that like cracked the newer one.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
What's going on there?
I thought the 16 Pro Max was supposed to be like way tougher.
I know, it is kind of a head scratcher.
Yeah, some people think it might be because the 16 Pro Max is a bit heavier than the 15 Pro Max
Okay.
and has thinner bezels around the screen,
Huh.
so there's less to like absorb the shock.
That makes sense.
But yeah, it's hard to say for sure.
So maybe shoulder height is asking too much.
Yeah.
This still makes you wonder if you should go caseless.
Yeah, definitely something to think about.
And if
Like
it's
these are controlled tests.
right,
In
yeah.
the real world, there are so many variables, like
angle.
the angle of the surface you're dropping
and
out
all
onto.
that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least these tests give us a sense of what this like toughest glass can actually handle.
It does.
So speaking of real world experiences,
Yeah.
Tech Radar's writer dropped their 16 Pro Max from about 3 feet onto a pretty rough floor.
Oh, wow.
And it was totally fine.
Oh, good.
So maybe there's hope for us clumsy people,
Maybe.
right?
Yeah.
But there's a twist.
Oh, no.
They also found a scratch on their iPhone 16 Pro, which was in a silicon case. And they said that their Google Pixel 9,
Mm-hmm.
which also had a reputation for durability,
Okay.
scratched easily too.
Interesting.
So they were basically saying like,
Glass is glass.
yeah, glass is glass.
There's a limit to how tough you can make it.
Yeah.
And cases just increase the odds of your phone surviving those everyday bumps and fumbles.
True.
Makes sense.
Okay, so the drop tests have given us a lot to think about.
Definitely.
But what about scratch resistance?
Right. Good point.
That's where Jerry Rig Everything's durability test comes in.
Ooh, yeah.
They really put the iPhone 16 Pro Max through its paces.
They did.
And it turns out, even with ceramic shield, the screen still scratches relatively easily.
Really?
Yeah, they use like a standardized scale to measure scratch resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And the iPhone 16 Pro Max scratched the same level as previous models.
Hmm.
So Apple's claims about scratch resistance might be a bit overblown.
Maybe a little bit.
So even if you're super careful,
Yeah.
those keys in your pocket could still leave their mark. I have to ask, did they do the burn test?
Of course they did.
I was hoping they did.
It's jerry-rig everything.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to report that the iPhone 16 Pro Max's display survived with no damage.
That's good.
But please don't try this at home.
Yeah.
No phone is worth setting yourself on fire.
Definitely not.
Safety first.
Okay. But it's still impressive that the screen can handle that kind of heat.
It is.
So what about the bend test?
Ooh, good one.
Do you remember Bendgate from a few years ago?
How could I forget?
Did the 16 Pro Max hold up?
It did.
Huh?
And it actually held up really well.
Okay.
Especially compared to the 15 Pro Max, whose back glass shattered in a similar test.
Oh.
So points for structural integrity.
Nice. Okay, so maybe we can't fold it in half and put it in our pocket just yet.
Not yet.
But it's good to know it can handle a bit of pressure.
It's reassuring.
But before we get too excited, let's see what real people are saying.
Right.
We found this Reddit thread
Oh, okay.
where iPhone 16 Pro Max owners are sharing their experiences.
Interesting.
And let's just say opinions are divided.
As they always are on Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit's always a wild ride.
It is.
Some users were really impressed with the phone's durability,
Okay.
saying it felt solid and well built.
Mm-hmm.
Some even speculated that the new metal-encased battery might be contributing to the improved structural rigidity.
Wow, interesting.
But there were also plenty of users who were skeptical.
Some
people love it.
Yeah.
Some people are hesitant.
Sounds about right for the internet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Some people felt that the drop tests were too extreme and didn't reflect real-world usage,
Mm-hmm.
while others were disappointed that the 16 Pro Max didn't seem to be a huge leap forward in terms of durability.
Yeah.
It sounds like even with all the advancements, there's still no magic bullet for phone fragility.
That's a good way to put it.
It's a balancing act
It is.
between, like, sleek design,
Yeah.
cutting-edge features,
Mhm.
and the realities of everyday use. So after hearing all of this, are you feeling brave enough to go caseless with your iPhone 16 Pro Max?
I don't know about you, but I think I might still be clinging to that extra bit of protection.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to risk it just yet.
I hear you.
So we've talked about how even though Apple's made the iPhone 16 Pro Max tougher,
Yeah.
a case is still probably a smart move
Definitely.
if you want to keep your phone looking nice.
Especially a brand new phone.
So that brings us to our next question.
Okay.
What kind of case should you get?
Oh, man. There are so many options.
You know, it's overwhelming.
It is.
You've got your basic silicone cases,
Yep.
clear cases, rugged cases that look like they could survive anything.
Those are intense.
And then there are the wallet cases.
Oh, yeah.
They try to replace your entire purse.
I've definitely used those.
Me too.
Yeah.
So how do you even choose?
Right. It's a tough decision.
It feels so personal.
It is personal.
Yeah.
It all comes down to like finding that balance between protection and practicality.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like if you're always on the go and need something lightweight and slim,
Yeah,
a silicone or clear case might be a good option.
right. Those offer decent protection against scratches and minor drops
Exactly.
without making your phone super bulky.
Yeah, you don't want a brick in your pocket.
Definitely not.
But if you're like me and drop your phone a lot.
Or if you're like more adventurous,
Yeah, exactly.
then a rugged case is probably a safer bet.
For sure.
Those rugged cases look really tough.
They do.
But they do add some bulk.
Yeah, you're trading off a bit of sleekness for that extra protection.
Yeah.
And then you got your specialized cases. Like waterproof cases.
Sort of like water sports and stuff?
Yeah, if you're a surfer or something.
Battery cases if you need extra battery life.
Exactly.
So many options.
It's like a buffet of phone protection.
That's a great way to put it.
You can pick and choose what you need.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer.
Definitely not.
So, okay, you found the perfect case. Are there any other things you can do to protect your iPhone 16 Pro Max?
Oh, for sure. Screen protectors are a must for a lot of people.
Yeah, those are important.
They add like an extra layer of defense.
Against scratches.
Scratches, yeah.
And even drops.
They can help absorb some of the impact.
And they're so much better now than they used to be.
Right. Remember those flimsy plastic sheets?
I know they were the worst.
Now you can get tempered glass protectors that are super strong and practically invisible.
Yeah, you can barely tell they're there.
It's amazing.
So we've got cases, screen protectors. Is there anything else we can do?
Well, this might seem obvious,
Mm-hmm.
but being careful with your phone can make a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't carry it in your back pocket.
Where it could fall out.
Exactly.
Or like put it on the edge of a table.
Yeah, those are risky moves.
I've definitely done that.
We've all been there.
But what about how you hold your phone?
Oh, yeah, that matters too.
Does it really?
Yeah, a secure grip is important. And using a pop socket or phone ring can help.
For extra stability.
Yeah, and it takes some of the strain off your fingers.
So it's like ergonomics for your phone.
It is. You're taking care of your phone and your hand.
Okay, so we've talked about cases, screen protectors, and how we handle our phones.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, one thing people often forget about is software.
Software.
Yeah, keeping your phone's software up to date.
Okay.
It can help prevent problems and improve performance.
Like a checkup for your phone.
Exactly.
And speaking of software,
Yeah,
there are actually apps for phone safety.
there are.
Really?
Yep. Some apps can detect falls and lock your screen automatically.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And others can send emergency alerts or track your phone if it's lost or stolen.
So it's like technology protecting technology.
Exactly. A digital guardian angel for your phone.
I love that.
And beyond all these practical tips,
Yeah.
there's also mindfulness,
Oh, interesting.
like being aware of your surroundings, paying attention to where you put your phone,
Oh.
avoiding distractions while you're using it.
Okay.
All that can help prevent accidents.
It's like phone etiquette.
It is. Be present, be aware, and treat your phone with respect.
I like that.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
it's clear that protecting your iPhone 16 Pro Max is a multifaceted endeavor.
It's not just one thing.
No, it's about the case, the screen protector, how you handle it, even the software.
But it's also about accepting that accidents happen.
Yeah,
And no matter how careful you are, there's always a chance your fan could break.
that's true.
Which brings us to a big question.
Okay.
If even the toughest glass on any smartphone can shatter,
Yeah,
is an indestructible phone just a fantasy?
that's a great question, and one that we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive, all about the durability of the iPhone 16 Pro Max.
So we've talked about the drop tests, cases, screen protectors,
Even how we hold our phones.
all those little things that can make a difference.
Right, and now for the big question. Will we ever have a truly indestructible phone?
That's $1 million question.
Like, is it even possible?
It makes you think about like the limits of technology.
Right, and like what we even want from our phones.
Exactly.
I mean, material science is always getting better.
Yeah, we've seen some amazing progress.
Like with Gorilla Glass and Ceramic Shield.
They've definitely made our phones tougher. But
It's still glass.
yeah, at the end of the day, glass is glass.
And glass breaks.
That's the problem.
So what are the alternatives?
Right. What's next?
What's the future of phone durability?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about sapphire glass.
Sapphire glass.
Yeah,
Like for fancy watches.
exactly.
I didn't know they were trying to use that for phones.
Yeah, it's known for being super hard and scratch resistant,
Okay.
but it's also really expensive
Uh-huh.
and difficult to manufacture on a large scale.
So that's why we don't see it in smartphones yet.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So it's a trade-off.
Always is.
Durability versus cost. Are there any other materials that could work?
Yeah, there's a lot of research happening around flexible displays,
Oh, wow.
made from things like polymers
Okay.
or even graphene.
Graphene isn't that like a super material?
It is. It's incredibly strong and flexible.
So you're saying we could have phones that bend without breaking?
Potentially? Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Imagine dropping your phone and it just bounces.
And more cracked screens.
Yeah. It's a nice thought.
And then there's self-healing materials.
Oh, yeah. That's where things get really futuristic.
It sounds like science fiction.
It does, but it's real. Scientists are working on materials that can actually repair themselves.
It's like if you scratch your phone,
It could heal over time.
that's mind-blowing.
I know, right?
It makes you wonder how that would change things.
How so?
Like if we didn't have to worry about breaking our phones,
Oh, interesting point.
would we be even more attached to them?
Maybe.
Would they become like an extension of ourselves?
It's possible.
Always there, always on.
Or would it free us in a way?
You mean like from the anxiety of damaging them?
Exactly.
We could be more spontaneous with our phones,
Yeah. Take more risks. Try new things.
knowing that they could handle it.
That's an interesting way to think about it.
It's a lot to consider.
It is.
Technology is always changing how we live.
And how we think about the world.
So as we wrap up our deep dive,
Yeah.
we're left with a sense of optimism, but also uncertainty.
I agree.
The quest for the indestructible phone continues.
It does.
But it's exciting to see what the future holds.
Definitely.
Who knows what amazing innovations are just around the corner.
I can't wait to find out.
And in the meantime,
Yeah,
we got to take care of the phones we have.
absolutely.
Choose a good case,
Mm-hmm.
maybe get a screen protector,
Good idea.
and be mindful of how we use our phones.
Be present.
Treat them with respect.
Yeah,
Technology is a tool,
right.
and it's up to us to use it wisely.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of iPhone durability.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.